Is it really halal to invest in the stock market? Well, this is a very common question that I keep getting asked, um, because you see there are a lot of haram going on in the stock market. There are companies that are not necessarily doing everything right. Even if a company, if its main business is halal, it can be earning impure income from interest, or it has some other revenue segments that are not halal. So, for example, Tesla is now selling alcohol, and Apple now has a savings account. So the question that comes up always is it really okay to invest in companies that have these haram aspects to it? So according to the Sharia standards, it will be permissible to invest as long as the main business is halal and the impure earnings of the company are less than 5% of the total revenues. Um, but then, how sound is this, right? Well, unfortunately, the reality of the world that we're living in today is that the majority of the public companies are neither Muslim, nor are they operating in an Islamic environment, right? So, because recognizing these challenges, reputed Islamic scholars from around the world, uh, they derived rules from classical texts, and these rules became the Sharia standards for the industry, right? So, AAOIFI is the most reputed, uh, you know, organization in this regard. Senior scholars from different Muslim countries, including Pakistan, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, UAE, Nigeria, reputed senior scholars have all come together and they formed these Sharia standards. In fact, IOFI's Sharia standards form the basis as guidance for Islamic finance around the world, and they have listed on their in their Sharia standards their reasonings for these exemptions, and a lot of uh, they have quoted a lot of references from classical texts uh, as to the basis for their rulings, right? So anyway, to understand this whole idea of uh, exemptions and what the basis may come from, I can give you an example of how the Islamic fiqh deals with uh, purity of water, right? So, for example, if a large body of water has some impurity falling into it, like let's say blood, urine, very tiny portion, few drops of it uh, falls into a large body of water, then will that water be suitable for doing wudu? So in this case, the Islamic fiqh is clear that as long as the impurity is very tiny, it doesn't change the characteristics of the water, its color, its smell, and its appearance doesn't change. The water is pure to use for you to do your wudu, and so similarly, these kind of rulings have been applied in today's capital markets, where if the business is halal and majority of it is halal, and if a very tiny bit, which scholars have come up to, the majority of scholars have kept it at 5%, are from impure earnings, then such a company will be permissible to invest in. Likewise, we have different standards for interest-based debts and so on. And this is what oh, you know we try to provide at Muslim Exchange. We do all the research. We research companies. We analyze companies, their earnings, and apply the major Sharia standards to provide Sharia compliance reports. You can search for thousands of companies, global companies, and check if they are Sharia compliant to invest or not at Muslim Exchange.